We start by sitting on our mat. So a comfortable seated position, so you can have your legs out in front, that's fine. If you're already sitting down, just kind of, you can stay as you are. You can be cross-legged, like you don't have to think because you're doing yoga, you have to be cross-legged. You can sit just in a way that feels comfortable for you. So, and then if you place your hands on your knees, wherever they are, and just lift up one knee at a time, and just let your body rock from side to side. So you just allow yourself to settle and just come to this place of practice, onto your mat and into this space. So whatever you've been doing today, not this morning, the whole of the day, whatever you've been doing today, whatever you're going to do later, you can wait, or it's happened. So what's happening is what you're doing is what's happening now. So just coming to rest in the centre and just allow your sitting bones to find their place. Relax your ankles, or maybe rotate your ankles a few times one way and then the other way. And with your hands resting on your knees, feel that sort of connection from the ankles into the knees. And then maybe circle the ankles, both ankles circle, what's that way, clockwise. So you can feel the knees starting to move as well. They're really good ones to kind of find movement and mobility into the knees, and then circle the ankles, if I can, circle the ankles in the opposite direction. So both ankles are going to the left. You can feel that in your knees. And if you relax enough, you're going to feel that through your hips as well, and through your shoulders. And then stop, and just let the ankles just kind of turn out, whatever they're doing, but feel the connection down through your heels. Your hands resting on the knees, circle your shoulders. And your gaze can be just beyond your feet or beyond your toes, resting on the floor. So soften your gaze. Circle the shoulders backwards, circle the shoulders forwards. And as you circle the shoulders forward, just nod the head. So bringing the chin down, lifting the head. So you're nodding the head, yes. I'm asking you to do it, but I find that really difficult to do more than one thing at a time. And then when you circle the shoulders backwards, can you turn the head from side to side as though you're saying no, shaking the head no, but carefully, gently. And then just let the shoulders go. Turn the head to the right, so the chin just goes towards the right. Turn the head to the left. So carefully, because if there's anything going on with your shoulders, it's going to be felt. If there's anything going on with your lower back, it's going to be felt. And allow yourself to feel whatever you feel. So we're not trying to block anything or change anything. We're just resting with our body and being glad that we can find any kind of movement. Then just let the head come to centre, being aware of the weight of your head, and then drop the chin. So your gaze is down. And then just drop the right ear towards the right shoulder, and then just roll round towards the left. So just half circle to the left and then rolling round towards the right. Half circle to the right and round to the left. And if your neck feels okay, if you feel as though you can go a little bit more, maybe doing a full circle but not letting the head drop too much, just taking the gaze up towards the ceiling and just rolling the head. And if it's anything like me, you might feel the neck crunch, you might feel crunchy sounds or feel tightness in the neck or around the jaw, especially if you've been working on a computer or know you've got to do it later. We hold so much tension in our shoulders. There's a reason why there's the old saying, isn't there? We hold the weight of the world on our shoulders. So just being kind to yourself and knowing that if your shoulders ache or your neck aches, there's no reason why it shouldn't. And then just stop with your gaze down towards your hands, resting on your knees, feeling the weight of your hands, feeling the weight of your shoulders, feeling the weight of your head. Close your eyes, just visit briefly, breathe in, deep breath in, and as you breathe out, open your eyes, lift your head, and just come to sit. So you just find that place of centering really, or finding a place of rest. And then we're just going to, and you can shift position if it's no good with your legs out in front. You can shift, you can cross leg, you can kneel, or you can find a place that feels comfy. Left hand comes to rest on the floor. We're just going to let the right hand just come to rest on the top of the head. And then you're going to carefully let the left shoulder just sink towards the left hip, or think of bending the left elbow towards the floor. You can turn the gaze down perhaps, you can turn the gaze up perhaps. Circle the right elbow, the elbow that's above you, circle the right elbow. You might want to take the right arm up, but you're not stretching. Don't stretch. The weight of the arm rests into the shoulder, so you can move the shoulder, move the shoulder. And then carefully take the right hand towards the floor, and that will lift you up. Let the left hand come to rest on the top of the head, and really allow the hand to rest on the top of the head as the right shoulder goes towards the right hip, or the right elbow comes towards the floor. So it doesn't have to come all the way. Your body will go to where it's able to go. You can turn the gaze to look down. If it's okay with your neck, you can turn the gaze to look up so you can see your elbow. Circle the left elbow. Find the shoulder. It's a really good one at opening the lung space in the side of your body. Opening different areas of the lungs, because we always breathe in certain parts of the lungs as we get older. It's just our pattern or our habit. If it feels okay, you can take the left arm up, but you're not stretching. You can experiment if you like and stretch. When you stretch, it's difficult to breathe. So relax the arm, relax the shoulder, free up your breath, free up the lung space. The gaze can turn down or the gaze can turn up. And as the left arm lowers, that will lift the spine back to centre. Circle the shoulders or move the shoulders around a little bit. And then just take the feet or the legs a little bit wider, not too wide. You're not trying to make any kind of weird shape. And then just bend the knees. Bend the knees. If you're cross-legged, obviously you can stay in whatever comfortable position you're in. Or you could be sitting on a chair. That's fine as well. There's no right or wrong. Right, so if you place one hand on the top of the head, one hand on the base of the ribs, and just let yourself slump or sink or collapse, because you might find that you're doing that anyway. Now take both hands, fingertips rest on the floor either side of the hips. Slight pressure down in the fingertips. Imagine you're being brought up underneath the armpits to lift the spine. So from inside underneath the ribs right through to the top of the head, can we find that feeling of lift, that feeling of growing? And you might find the postural muscles deep inside start to engage, but you don't have to do that. Your body will work, just like you know how to breathe. All we're trying to do is notice and observe how wonderful we are, how you are, wonderful you are. So when you're ready, from inside underneath the ribs, we're going to turn. So the left hand comes on the outside of the right knee. The right hand can come to rest perhaps behind, and the upper part of the spine turns towards the right. Circle the shoulders, particularly the right shoulder. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, perhaps you can turn a little bit more. Perhaps you can turn the head to look past the right shoulder, but don't force anything. Breathe as you need to as you come back to centre. Right hand comes to rest on the outside of the left knee. The left hand comes to rest behind. Be aware of your breath coming in. And as you breathe out, perhaps you can turn a little bit more. Perhaps the gaze can turn to look past the left shoulder. And you feel the breath as it comes in. And you feel the breath as it leaves. And then when you're ready, just come back to centre. Just settle there for a few moments. Just going to go one more time. The left hand's going to go on the outside of the right knee. And just take your right arm in front of you. Relax the shoulders. And follow the gaze, or the hands with the gaze with the hands. As you send the right hand to the right, so the gaze follows, that will start to turn the spine. Soften the elbow, and without perhaps not putting the right fingertips on the floor, can you let the right hand come to rest on the back of the waist? And that part there wants to lift. So when you breathe in, can there be that feeling of coming up? And as you breathe out, can you turn a little bit more towards the right? Make sure you breathe in, come back to centre. Right hand comes on the outside of the left knee. Left hand can come in front, and you can follow the hand with the gaze. As the left hand comes round to the left, comes behind you, feel the turn from the inside underneath the ribs, right through to the crown of the head, feeling coming up, up, up. You turn to look past the left shoulder, breathe in. Or the hand can be resting on the floor, just seeing what's good for you. And as you breathe out, perhaps you can turn a little bit more. Come back to centre when you're ready, and you stop. Just settle there for a few moments, noticing how that feels when you come back to centre. And then when you're ready, you're just going to come into all fours. And I've just noticed I should have, that's it, I should have done that. Right, so coming into all fours, so the wrists more or less underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and just shake the wrists. Lift up one knee at a time. So if there's anything going on with your wrist and it's far too painful, you can come up onto your knuckles or your elbow, just kind of see. But if it's okay, just for a few moments, we're going to work with the wrists. So just start to circle the wrists or rock the wrists from inside to outside, whatever that means, any kind of movement through the wrists. And if it feels okay, start to circle the wrists. And as you circle the wrists from the inside to the outside, feel that through the knees. Feel that through the hips. Feel that through the whole of the body. And then just circle the wrists or yeah, that is the kind of word, circling the wrist, inside the wrist, outside the wrist, in the opposite direction. Feeling that through the knees, feeling that through the hips. It's a really good way of encouraging blood flow to these parts of the body, so the wrists and the knees. So weight bearing encourages circulation, so it can feel quite uncomfortable at first, but ultimately it's encouraging circulation, it's encouraging healing, it's encouraging health. So improve circulation, improve blood flow, encourages healing. And then when you're ready, just come back to centre or stop. Walk the hands a little bit further forward. Walk the hands a little bit further forward. And then send the hips a little bit further back. So you're having that bit of a stretch from the tailbone right through to the fingertips. Your gaze is down towards the floor. Soften your jaw. And then when you're ready, just lift back up. So your hands are a bit further forward. We're going to turn the right palm up and just thread the right arm underneath the left arm. Perhaps the right shoulder can come down. Perhaps you can turn to look through the left arm. And then come back up. Turn the left palm up. Thread the left arm underneath the right arm. Your gaze is through underneath the right arm. Perhaps the left side of the head comes down, or the left ear, or the left shoulder. And then come back up. Now, if that was okay for you, we're going to go on, we progress it. If you want to stay in that one, then you stay in that one, you don't have to hold it. So always do what feels right for your body, never sort of force beyond true discomfort. Turn the right palm up, the right arm threads underneath the left, the right shoulder comes down, you turn to look through underneath that left arm. Maybe you can take the left hand a little bit further forward and really allow the right shoulder to rest. Send the hips back towards the heels. So it's a big stretch, a big opening around the shoulder blades. And then when you're ready, come back up. So you go down into the left hand to come back up. Turn the left palm up, thread the left arm underneath the right. You might find it easy to bring the right hand a little bit closer in, just kind of see where you are with it. The left shoulder comes down, the side of the left head or ear comes down. The hips go back towards the heels as the right fingertips stretch away. So you're really opening and turning really through the upper part of the spine. Make sure you're breathing. And then when you're ready, bring the right hand in a little bit, go down into the right hand to bring yourself back into all fours. Settle there, lift up one knee at a time, shake off the wrists. So kind of know, you're healing yourself, you're doing yourself some real good just by weight bearing into the knees and into the wrists, because we don't usually weight bear. So when you're, it's in these positions, when you're ready, round the spine, or imagine drawing your gaze towards your navel, round spine. Breathe in, and then as you breathe out, let go. Let go between the shoulder blades, let go of the back of the waist, and your gaze goes forward. Forward. Breathe in, round the spine, your gaze comes towards the navel, round spine. And as you breathe out, just let yourself sink. Sink between the shoulders, sink at the back of the waist. It's a really good one at finding mobility and finding movement in the muscles either side of the spine as well as the spine itself. So just kind of carrying on rounding and sinking. Being with your breath, being with your body, and just being with this movement, knowing that there's nothing else to do. And then when you're ready, just stop. So stop in the centre. Stop in the centre. walk the, ease the hips a little bit back towards the heels. Kind of see how that is. It's a good one at lengthening the thighs. And then when you're ready, we're going to walk the hands back a little bit closer towards the knees. And we're just going to tuck the toes under, lift the knees, and see if you can just coming up to stand. So we come up to stand, or any way you like. Right, so the feet are at least a width apart. So we're having a good sense of connection with the floor beneath. The floor beneath, the ground beneath is our stability, is what keeps us rooted, keeps us grounded. So maybe rock from side to side a little bit, kind of work into a balance. Rock from side to side. So knowing which side you favour, because we'll always favour or sink into one side a little bit easier than the other. And yoga helps us balance, equalize weight in different parts of the body. And then when you're ready, stop. And can you have equal weight in the right foot, equal weight in the left foot? Let the hands come to rest on the thighs or wherever feels comfortable for you. And we're just going to circle the feet. So if you look at your feet, come onto the tips of the toes. So no, I'm sorry, no, don't do that. Just kind of push the weight more into the tips of the toes. The heels can still stay down. Come onto the outside edge of the right foot, inside edge of the left foot, round through to the heel, outside edge of the left foot, inside edge of the right foot, through to the toes. You're just rounding, circling the outside edges of the feet. And you're feeling that transference of energy up through the legs, through the knees, to the thighs, into the hips. And if you place your hands on the centre of the spine, or centre of the body, as you circle the feet, you feel that deeper connection to something inside. But ultimately, all these movements, everything connects back through to that deeper place, the centre of the spine. So you're not so, it looks like you're circling your hips. So when I look at myself on the screen, it looks like I'm circling my hips. But you're working through the feet. And then just circle the feet in the opposite direction. So it's a really good one at strengthening the ankles, waking up the feet. And often our feet aren't really exercised. Unless there's something wrong with our feet, we don't exercise our feet. Keeping our feet mobile keeps the ankles mobile. Keeping the ankles strong, mobile, keeps your knees strong, mobile, keeps the hips strong, mobile, keeps the spine. So nothing is ever a waste of time. And then just stop. And when you stop in the centre, notice how your feet feel. They might be really aching if you've got arthritis or you've had stuff going on with your feet. You know, you're going to really have a sense of what's going on there. Focus your gaze. And we're just going to take the arms out, just for balance really. Focus your gaze. And then we're just going to lift up the right heel. So the right toes can stay on the floor. Drop the head. So really be aware of the weight of your head, and then take the gaze up. Be aware of the back of your head. Now when you take your gaze forward, imagine the back of your head being in line with the heel that's on the floor, the left heel. So you're not kind of sinking forward, you're not pushing back. Your gaze is forward and the back of the head is in line, or kind of there's a feeling of connection of the back of the head to the left heel, the back of the left heel. And then just rock the right knee from side to side. So we're trying not to slump forward, we're not trying not to slump back. The spine stays lifted as you rock the right knee from side to side and feel that through your hip. Now, if it feels okay, you've got your balance, lift the knee, rock from side to side. If you need to hold on to a chair, it's over there, she said that earlier. If you need a chair near you, obviously you hold on to a chair. If you need to take the foot back onto the floor, obviously that's what you do. And then when you're ready, stop, bring the right foot back down. Take the arms down. Now notice, you know, chances are it might be aching. Relax the shoulders again. Lift the gaze. Well, I shouldn't say lift the gaze. The gaze can be down, but the back of the head, more or less in line with the thoracic spine and the tailbone and down through to the heel. So all I mean by that is you're not slumping. So when you're ready, you can take the arms out again, or what's quite interesting, you can take the hands behind you. Take the hands behind you and lift up the left heel. So imagine the back of the head resting down towards the right heel as you just rock the left knee from side to side, and your spine stays lifted. As you rock the left knee from side to side, you're going to feel the hip mobilise. If it feels quite easy, you can lift the knee, rock, move from side to side. Feel the transference of weight and the way the right foot just changes, responds to the movement, because it should respond. The right leg shouldn't be rigid. If you fall out of it or come out of it, it's fine. Or fall like me, it's fine. And then when you're ready, just stop. Bring the right foot down. Shake off the wrist. Right, so we're going to go into a balance. We're going to go into tree pose. So equalise the weight between the feet. And always know there's no right or wrong way of going into any of these positions. The position isn't important. It's just a shape. What helps us, what creates well-being or feelings of rest or quietness is attention, is awareness, knowing what we're doing and knowing how our body moves. So when you're ready, focus your gaze, make sure you're breathing, feel the reactions as you bring up the right heel. Rest the shoulders, let the hands come to rest on the centre of the spine. Now this part here, from the base of the ribs to the collarbones, the top of the head is coming as far, far away from the floor as possible. And ever so carefully lift up the right knee. And if it's okay, rock the knee from side to side. Or you might feel happier with the right toes on the floor, and that's fine. So whatever you're doing, you're just rocking from side to side. Knowing that as the right knee goes out to the right, you're opening the hip. Soften the left knee, so you're not straining the left knee. And if it's okay, as the right knee goes out to the right, take the arms out. As the right heel comes in, let the right hand find the ankle and just place the foot. So it might go a little bit lower, or it might stay on the floor. It's fine. The left hand can be resting on a chair, so you find what can be a happier place for you, for your body, so that you can breathe and so that you can rest. And then if it's okay, take the arms out again, turn the palms up, let the right knee drop away as the arms go up. And the arms aren't stretching away, the arms rest down towards the shoulders rest in towards the hips. But from inside underneath the ribs right through to the crown of the head, there's a feeling of coming up, away from the floor. And then you ever so carefully, you come out. Equalise the weight between the feet, relax the shoulders. We can let the hands come to rest around the centre of the spine or centre of the body, and really allow the shoulders to rest, jaw to soften, breath to ease. And then when you're ready, we lift up the left heel, and that might be enough for you. You can rock the knee, and that might be enough for you. If it's okay, you can lift the knee, you can lift the foot off the floor, and that might be enough for you. If it feels all right, is the left knee, as the left knee goes out, the arms can go out. Try not to sink too much into that standing foot. Can you lift the right heel? So if we're sinking it, we're slumped, we want to feel as though from underneath the ribs right through to the crown of the head you can lift. And the left hand might allow the left heel to come a little bit closer, and the right arm might be allowed to go up. And you might fall out of it, you might sway, you might wobble, or you might be holding on. So all these things are just incidental. What we're trying to do is know what we're doing, and then when we're ready, we ease out. So soles of the feet, base the big toes and heels, rest on the floor, circle the shoulders. So we just go one more time. I think we just done it once each side. Just one more time each side. So we can go start in a different way. We can have the hands resting on the hips. We can lift up the right heel. We can turn the right knee out. Have that sense the right hip is turned, the left hip is facing forward. Soften the left knee, relax the shoulders. Take the gaze down towards the floor, so that will round the spine forward. And then if possible, lift up the right heel, a little bit closer to above the knee or below the knee, or a little bit higher. And then from inside underneath the ribs, right through to the crown of the head, lift, and let the right knee drop away. So there's no right or wrong way of going into these positions. Well, the only right way is to be aware of what you're doing, and to be aware that you're helping yourself. And then if it's okay, we take the arms up and we allow the right knee to ease away. And then you come out when you're ready. And don't think you have to hold it for any set amount of time. The journey towards is far more beneficial than actually kind of grasping onto any particular shape, because then it's gone. So there's no point holding on to something that you can't actually grasp. So then when you're ready, just start to lift up the left heel. Soften the right knee. Soften the right knee. Maybe start with the hands behind you. It's always quite interesting. Relax the shoulders. So the back of the head rests back as though it's in line with the back heel. And then turn the left knee out. Turn the left knee out. You can let the left hand rest on the left thigh and encourage the left thigh to come up. Encourage the left heel to come in. Encourage the left heel to find its place. It can be above the knee or below the knee or resting on the floor. So you can go to wherever feels comfortable for you. And then if it's okay, you can take the arms out, palms facing up. Take the arms up. Relax the arms into the shoulders. And come out when you're ready. And if you feel that's good because the body is relaxed. If you can hold it forever, it means you've tightened the muscles up. And yoga is about letting go of tension, not finding even more. So stop with the feet a little bit wider, or send the feet a little bit wider. And then we're just going to soften the knees, Let the hands come to rest on the thighs, let the hands come to rest on the knees. Send the right knee forward, bring it back, send the left knee forward. And the knee tracks true over the toes. Try not to grip the toes, try to relax the toes. Your feet will just move or respond to what's happening with the rest of the body. We want the feet to respond. We don't want everything to be changed by what's going on up inside our head. We want the intelligence of the body to start to wake up. So when the right knee goes forward, maybe let the left hand rest on the left hip. So that part there is longer now. The right knee going forward allows there to be a space in the left hip. Let the left hand come to rest behind you. Turn the gaze towards the left. Imagine the left shoulder coming back. Maybe the gaze can go up and the left arm can lift. And then when you're ready, lower the left arm back onto that left knee. Try not to lock the left knee as you send the left knee forward. Try not to lock the right knee as you lengthen. Think of lengthening the back of the right knee. The right hand can rest on the right hip. Imagine space all around the front of this right hip to allow the collarbones to come up as far, far away from that left knee as possible and turn towards the right. The gaze comes up, the right arm might come up. If it's uncomfortable with your arm, let the right arm just rest behind you. So there's no right or wrong. You find a way of turning, you find a way of breathing, you find a way of feeling space in your body. And then when you're ready, bring the arm down, come back to centre. Hands can rest on the knees and just rock from side to side. Soften the knees a little bit more, or bend the knees a little bit more. Maybe the hands come a little bit lower to the ankles. Maybe your hands can come to the floor. If it's impossible, then you can just use the chair. Bring your hands onto a chair. And then from here, maybe walk the hands a little bit further forward till you can bring the knees down. Flatten the feet and just ease your hips back towards your heels. And the knees can be wide or the knees can be together. So you go with the shape of your body, and there's no right, well, there's certainly no right body or no wrong body. It's the body you have. So if it's okay, you can support the head with the hands and really allow the weight of the head to rest into the hands, the weight of the elbows to rest into the floor. And feel your breath, if possible, in the back of your body, breathing in. And as you breathe out, let go. Let go of the breath. Let go of your body. And then your breath returns. And then again you let it go. So we learn not to hold on, grasp, or change. And then just for the last minute or so, just coming to rest onto your back, or you can sit, sort of finding a place where you can just settle down, allowing the soles of the feet to rest on the floor and keeping your knees bent. And maybe if it's comfortable for you, just drawing the knees in towards you and crossing your ankles. Take your arms down by your side. And if it's all right to close your eyes and just feel the weight of your ankles rest in towards the lower back. And as the feet come back onto the floor, uncross the ankles, allow the feet to land. So really find connection with the floor. Turn your palms up and know that the palms are turned up. And when you breathe in, know that you're breathing in. And when you breathe out, know that you breathe out. And there's nothing else to do. And there's no great secret to being allowed to rest. That resting place is always with you. All you have to do is give yourself permission to allow it to be. So as this practice comes towards the close, just notice how you feel right now, and you can start to move the fingers, move the toes, roll your shoulders, coming over onto your side when you're ready. You're taking your time, or you might decide just to stay resting for a little bit longer. And just coming to sit up when you're ready.